Welcome to the show. This show is Unhinged. I am bigz. I have a very special guest today. Too much Brian at too much _ Brian on Twitter. It's Brian Hartman. You may recognize him from the Dynasty Pulse show. He's part of the Wolf Pack. That's our Google chat group for Dynasty Pulse hosts and stuff. I tried to start the show a little bit hinged, which was a mistake because right now I'm unhinged. I am a frazzled mess. Woke up not feeling great, had some coffee, and had to take my dog to the daycare so that he could be boarded for the next few days while I go to Green Bay. Had to get my bird into the car so my girlfriend could take him to her mom's house so that she can watch our bird. And then I had to pack. I had to do laundry, but the laundry wasn't dry. And now I still have to pack, and I have to get my camera equipment together, and I had to do show prep, and now I have to do the show. And so I am fully unhinged right now. How are you, Brian?
Hey, you know what? I got Goodell's number on speed dial. We can give him a call, tell him we need to back up the draft like an hour or two. Anything we got to do to help out bigz here.
No, I meant, how are you, Brian?
I'm
what makes
too
you
much.
Brian?
I'm here to talking football. I got other podcasts where I do movies. I'm just here to get unhinged. You know, it's about fucking time. You know, let's let it roll.
I mean, the correct answer was something about your dad banging your mom, but also, and I am blessed because I've had Brian on the show yesterday, and now he's on a show today, 2 different networks, and I still haven't had enough Brian. So there you go. Jamie's in the chat as always. Undroppables are unstoppable. That's true. That's very true. And JMac, LFG fam, we in here. JMac, so interesting story about JMac. We did the mock draft yesterday, and there was a user there was a sleeper handle in there that I couldn't figure out what it was, but I saw that it was JMac and then back the other way. And I mentioned on the show that is a millennial naming convention from their emails when they were doing their handles and stuff in the early mid 2000s. And I know that because my son did that. And so it's usually the name flipped and then a number. And so I blurted out in mid show, the guy must be in his early to mid 30s. Well, JMac lives in Davis, California, where I live, and he came by the liquor store. He's a patron on the Undroppables Patreon. Speaking of that, go to the Undroppables Patreon and become a member, just like JMac. Really great content in the Discord and everything. Anyway, he heard on one show somebody talking about Davis, and he was like, oh my God, bigz is in Davis. So he reached out, came out to the liquor store. We met, had a nice conversation. He's a really, really cool dude.
Polished off a bottle.
Noted... and he is in his early to mid 30s. So I, not knowing who he was because of the naming convention on his sleeper handle, I nailed it. And then he came into the Discord and he was like, "This is my team," and I was like, "Oh my God, that's the guy." And I was totally correct.
That's awesome.
Analysis. All right. I am so busy and unhinged right now. I have to leave for the airport no later than 5:30, and then I have to fly, and I have to get into Chicago at 6 a.m. tomorrow, and then I have to get my rental car, and then I have to drive up to Green Bay. And my boy Richard Sickles was like, drive up to Duluth and say hi. It's a 5-hour drive, Richard.
Only if you drive slow. You got to drive a little faster. You'll be there.
10 hours round trip, and all I have is Thursday and Friday, and then I have an 8 o'clock flight on Saturday morning to catch. Unhinged, Richard. All right. So I did all of my show prep except for the last thing, which was getting out. I guess it is on the Twitter because of the Twitter live streaming. But I didn't tell everybody, hey, check us out. So let me just do this one more time.
I mean, come on, bigz. The real fans, they're here. They're all here. They're hanging out with us.
That's true.
But we got to bring all the fun, all the madness, all the unhinged, it's day before the draft. What can't we say that's going to be, lost in the sauce in the next 24 hours? And
I do have quite a bit of unhinged material to go over. And to do that, what we need to do is get into our hot takes. Oh, 30's in the building. What's up? And J-Mac says, what's up, Brian?
Oh, what's cracking, J-Mac? And Curtilicious up there.
Make sure you like the video. We need at least 10 likes on every video.
Every single one.
But that doesn't mean you can like it, unlike it, and then like it again. That doesn't count.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. All right. Let's do this. First of all, you might be wondering, you might be a new viewer. If so, make sure you're subscribed to the Undroppables. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at BigBonedFFB. That stands for Fantasy Football. And follow Brian too. Follow the Undroppables. Follow all of the Undroppables. Make sure you catch the Dynasty Pulse on when it drops on Fridays or Saturdays. I don't know when Mike does it. Make sure that you are following the great Dynasty show with Jax Falcone, my last week's guest Joe Kuvatakis, and Travis Seal up in British Columbia. How do you do a British Columbian accent? Is it like "Oi, hombre, mamacita es"? Wait, I don't know. Anyway, British Columbia,
right?
In
Let's
Canada?
Go get a shrimp on the Barbie. Nope, wrong accent.
No.
Every accent I do is always Australian. My movie podcast, we just did Sicario, so my buddy's sitting there trying to do a Mexican accent. I tried it, didn't work at all. It always goes Canadian or Australian.
When are we doing Back to the Future?
Hey, we got time now, right? As soon as the draft ends, nice May, June, it's gonna be movie season, man. I need you on there for especially Back to the Future 3. I need that hot take on. Isn't that your favorite? Yeah.
No. My unhinged take is that 3 is better than 2.
Oh man.
My favorite is 1. But 3 is great. All right. Okay. So what I was saying is that you may be wondering, what the fuck is happening? Unhinged. What the hell does that mean? Well, I have a personal brand that I like to say data-driven unhinged bullshit. And it took a year and a half of working with the Undroppables for it to click in my head that unhinged starts with like Undroppables. Because I'm dumb. And so I was having Joe was coming up to my town we were going to have lunch and record a show together. And so it like all of it coalesced in my head. Unhinged. I take stupid takes off the internet. I make my own stupid takes and all that stuff. And the show was kind of like created in a couple days. Dev at Rusty Shackelford on Twitter did a fantastic job on the graphics deck. He is a wizard, and so that's why we're here. But some of you might be thinking, especially if it's your first time and you don't know who the fuck I am, bigz, prove that you're unhinged. All right, I can do that. Now check this out. Last night I was at work. My girlfriend was going to bed. She was going to sleep. We were saying our goodnights, and I was saying I love you. So I started to text I love you, and this is what happened. The autofill was McConkey. How big of a degenerate motherfucker do you have to be for McConkey to autofill when you're trying to tell somebody that you love them?
I mean, how can you not love Lad? I mean, he's got to be sitting up there right there with the girlfriend, you know? Like, he's got speed, agility. That's a combo that needs fries, right? That is just the way to go. So I'm here for it. I love the love. Yeah,
but for my phone app, my text app, to like, I say I love you to her so much, and it still was like, he's trying to say he loves Lad. No. Okay,
it's funny when I type Will Levis on my phone, it pops up auto populate sucks ass. It's weird. I don't know that I've ever typed that. It's just Apple knows it too.
That is fantastic. All right, this show has we have a couple of commercial breaks. The first one, look, do you like pickles? I love pickles. Pickles are my favorite thing. In fact, on my debut show of this unhinged program, I was wearing a hat that I have that says Pickle Slut that I got from Roland Smoke in the 907 Pickle Factory. I don't know, it's a pickle factory. Anyway, go to Facebook, type in Roland, ROLL''N Smoke in the 907. That is the area code for the greater Anchorage, Alaska area. That's where he lives. And he be smoking pickles, y'all. And I don't mean in a pipe. He smokes them. I don't know how he does it. I don't know if he smokes the brine and then pickles them. I don't know if he smokes the cucumbers and then brines them. I don't know what he does, but he does plain. He does jalapeno. He does my favorite, which are habanero. I use the brine to make pickled martinis, or smoked pickled martinis. He does meats and cheeses. You can see on the side some various meat, smoked mozzarella, and it's delicious. If you like pickles, go get some Rolling Smoke in the 907 Pickles. Chris is doing good things. All right. Now let me try and get back on track. I guess we'll try and get into some of these hot takes. And I'll do... Yeah, okay. So that'll be this one. All right. Okay. Over under QBs drafted in round 1, 2.5.
Oh, we got to go over. We got to take the over.
I'm going over.
Yeah, I mean, just if I could draft on if I could bet on the draft here in Virginia, I'd be slamming that. But no, I got to Venmo my buddy in Ohio. He's got to put in a few of my NFL drafts for me.
Oh, I wonder if there's betting in Wisconsin. Okay, I'm saying 4. We know that Ward is gonna go. I'm saying that Jackson Dart is gonna get drafted by the New York Giants with the 3rd pick.
Spicy.
Then we got Shador going at 9, and then Milroe at 21 to the Steelers. So we're at 4 there, right?
And I don't think that number is going to get any bigger than 4. But yeah, 3, 4. I'm totally happy with either one of those. Just we need quarterbacks in the league. That's just how it is. That's just how that works. And if they fall outside of the first round, we know their chances of hitting drop significantly if they don't get that first round draft capital. So yeah, Milroe, we need that first round on you.
Well, don't tell the Tyler Shuck idiots that it's not over 4.5, because some people think he's going in the first round. That's not going to happen, you guys. Not going to happen. All right. Running backs drafted in round 1. Over under is 2.5. I'm going to say under.
Really? And is that second one, is it Omari and Hampton, or is it Travion Henderson?
I believe it's going to go Genty and Hampton.
See. This draft is so deep in the running back class. These NFL GMs should have no problem with waiting if you don't take that elite talent there with Ashton Genty and if you're an Omarian guy. But so they very well could fill their draft in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round with running backs, but damn it if we don't want to see 3, 4 running backs go here in the first round. Right. I'm going to take the over here on this one. I think Henderson's going to slide in there for sure. And then Caleb Johnson, Judkins, I don't know. I guess it also depends with this quarterback situation. It's going to be maybe that's a hard one to take then if you're taking both those at the over.
I definitely don't think Travion is going in the first round. If it's going to be 3, I think Caleb goes. But yeah, I don't have any. The way I'm looking at it is there is zero value in wasting draft capital in the first round on a running back. And I can't get over that idea. We have a situation in Las Vegas where the Raiders need a running back, and Genty was mocked to the Raiders consistently by every quote-unquote expert for like 3 months. And then finally people started moving off of that, which is fine. But, I mean, there's no reason, first of all, to take a running back in the top 10. I mean, Genty is that guy. But there's no reason to do it. And then let's look back. We got a draft class in 2019. Do you remember who in 2019 was the first running back drafted?
Oh, I'm trying to remember. Was that the Sony Michel year?
I don't know. Let me just answer for you. Josh Jacobs was the first running back drafted by the Raiders in the first round, and people absolutely lost their minds because they were drafting a running back in the first round. Well, and our dreamer, hell yeah, nailed it. Jamie, no. And our dreamer says so many GMs will be fired over this draft. Probably. To confirm, your girlfriend's name isn't McConkey? No, Sugar Dunkerton. Her name is not McConkey.
Not yet,
although,
anyway.
I pushing her to have it legally changed to that. And then I know bigz is unhinged because he loves Jackson Dart. Yes, I do. Okay, so that's the chat. Anyway, so people lost their minds because Jacobs was drafted in the first round, and everybody was like, "You don't draft a running back in the first round. There's no reason to." Well, how deep is this class compared to 2019? And if there was no reason in 2019, there's no reason in 2025.
I mean, I guess it also depends the team situation. I mean, the Raiders that year, they whiffed on just about every pick for multiple years when they had all those firsts. That was just so unfortunate having to watch
Cleveland Farrell shade will not stand.
What about, was it Arnett? Didn't he get cut before he finished his rookie contract?
We're not talking about the 2019 class. It was an A+ because of Jacob. No. I mean, it was an absolute fucking disaster. And I personally wanted Brian Burns or Devin White, and we drafted Cleveland with the 4th pick. I was out of my mind. But it worked out 6 years on. We got Devin White anyway. Yeah, he may be almost 30 now and has a whole bunch of tread off of his tires, but we got him.
Hey, that's the Raiders playing the long game right there.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this draft and I'm like, okay, we got the 106. We need help on the line. We need help at cornerback. We need help on the defensive tackle aspect of the game. There's no reason to take Genty. And the only team that's going to pull the trigger on Genty in the first round is the team that loves him so much that they don't want to risk losing him. Fuck it. You can get somebody else later. You can get 2 guys later, not waste any draft capital, not ever pay him over $10 million. Let them go after 4 years because you don't have to offer them the 5-year tender, and just re-roll. Like the running back position is the least valuable, least leveraged running position in the NFL. So I don't think we're going to get I don't think we're going to get 3 running backs in the first round. It's just not necessary.
Way to go and crush our fantasy football dreams there. Way to go.
Well, okay. I understand draft capital as it relates to fantasy positioning and everything, but what's more important, the actual round that the guy was taken or the order in the draft that he was taken? Was he the second running back in the draft, or was he drafted in the 7th round? Does that make him less valuable than if he's the 4th running back taken in the 3rd round? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
All right, we got Max Crosby in the 4th round that year, so it worked out at defensive end. Yeah, and somebody posted yesterday. It was the 1981 ESPN draft. 1981, I think we were coming off of the Super Bowl win against the Eagles, and we drafted Howie Long. And in the ESPN broadcast, which is very funny to watch because you get quotes like, "This defensive tackle is really big. He's 250 pounds." Which is fantastic to hear. But they were like, "Who's Howie Long? Who?" And turns out he was a Hall of Famer that created multiple NFL players with his penis. Greinberg's in the building. Oh, hey. Hi, Brian.
Well, it's more like, oh, hey, eh?
The H is silent because it's Spanish. There aren't 3 backs that demand first round capital. I agree, Sugar Dunkerton. I definitely agree with that. All right. Wide receivers drafted in round 1. I don't know if I got completely sidetracked. Oh, yeah. What I was saying is if you look at Spytek's draft history, the earliest running back he ever drafted was Rachaad White. And I want to say that was in the 3rd.
Mike.
I heard Tim Hortons and my ears perked up. There you go. It's like little Tim Hortons radars. Timmy's. All right. So I don't think Spytek's going to do it, which is fine because that's not who I want. I want Armand Membo. I'd be happy with somebody else. People keep saying Mason Graham. I'd be okay with that, except I think Walter Nolan is going to be better in the NFL than Mason Graham. And so, yeah, give me that. Trade back. I don't know if I have a slide for it and want to talk about it. It might come up, so I'll just save it. So you gotta keep watching. I'm gonna hold you prisoner with my take. All right, wide receivers drafted in round 1, over under 2.5. Give
me the over.
I'll take the over too. I think a lot of NFL teams are looking at Luther Burden with first round talent, and Egbuka, I think, is a first round talent.
I just had movement down south.
And worked up. And Tet is obviously a first round talent. So yeah, I'll take the over there. Tight ends drafted in round 1, over under 2.5.
Give me that under. I can't take them all over.
Same. That was a little very unhinged round, or very hinged round. All right. Offensive skill players in round 1, over under 9.5. Well, let's see. If we have 4 quarterbacks and 2 running backs, that's 6, 9. So yeah, over.
Yeah, I'm taking the over there. Just on the wide receivers, the tight end, and the quarterback. Even if the running back is less than we expect, I feel like those 3 positions alone should help us reach that mark.
Trades made in round 1, over under 3.5. I'm going to say under. I feel like 3. You're going to go over. I feel like 3 is a strong number of trades.
I'm an optimist here. We're getting more and more millennial GMs in here too that have played Madden growing up, that trade out the wazoo. These guys played fantasy football. Give me the over on the trades.
Okay. And Schlutzy is in the building. What's up, Schlutz? Okay. Curdy, who is the one that came up with these, I'm going to say total ACC, Big 10, Big 12, and SEC players. That's unhinged to put that in, because who the hell? Come on. I don't even know if I could tell you 14 and a half SEC players off the top of my head right now. It would take me a while. I don't have enough show for that. What are you thinking? Will Commissioner Goodell get booed when he walks out to open the draft? I'm going to answer yes. You know why? Because I'm going to do it.
I mean, it's an NFL tradition at this point. Like, he's leaned into it. I think we all realize, like, we have to hate him, but at the same time, whoever's at the top, nobody ever likes their boss. Nobody ever likes the fucking guy that's calling the orders, calling the shots. There's always something they could have done better. That's just how it works, you know? Yeah. So, yeah, Goodell, being a good sport, pulling in his $32 million a year from the franchises, let him go get up there booed once a year. Wham.
$32 million a year for being Jerry's cuck. I don't know if I would turn that down either.
Oh yeah, because Jerry can't keep it up. You're not feeling anything.
If I'm Goodell, I like that he comes up to the podium when people start doing it. He smiles. But if I'm him, I lean into it a little bit harder. I walk out in front of the podium and I do the Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. See, we don't want him liking it. Then we won't do it, you know?
Well, he smiles. All right. How will Travis Hunter be announced? Wide receiver, cornerback, or wide receiver, Let me slow down. Wide receiver, cornerback, or wide receiver, cornerback?
He's already mentioned that, like, kind of almost not really threatening Goodell, but letting Goodell know, like, it's very important to him. So I imagine they're going to give him that, just kind of, you know, even the team, whether or not they have a specific plan for him, I think they're going to feed into that and make sure that he feels happy, because it's a big deal for him. He wants to be known as different than everybody else, better in, you know, different ways than nobody else can be. And I respect it. I'm down for it, because either way, if they say wide receiver, we're going to be excited for fantasy. And if they say cornerback, we're going to be excited. But go ahead and say them both, because we don't know what the fuck they're going to do. You know, Browns, fingers crossed, they take him and they throw him in the wide receiver, because, you know, Jerry, Judy, Tillman, we need some help there.
Yeah. Yeah. Listener perception. They have an interesting take on Tillman. He had some success last year before he got hurt, but he's one of those guys that you and I were talking about yesterday, or I mentioned in the show that we did yesterday, who only lined up on one side of the field for Tennessee. And it'll be interesting to see if he can expound on his mini breakout last year. All right. I think Hunter is going to be announced as a wide receiver. But it would be interesting if they say wide receiver / cornerback, or wide receiver and cornerback, or wide receiver cornerback. Will there be a running back drafted in the top 10 picks? I say yeah. I say 2 of them are going to go.
I mean, with the rumor mill that's spilling right now, that's kind of the talk of the town. You know, Genty's going to go up there, and then the Bears are taking somebody at 10. So let's go. Let's lean into it, folks. We're going big. We're unhinged. We're spilling all of the money. We're not telling the wife we reached in the pocketbook, grabbed her credit card, and put it into our account. We're going big here.
Yeah, unhinged. All right. Will Shedeur Sanders be drafted in round 1? Now, I'm going to say no, simply because of his talent level. But I'm going to be wrong on that, because he is So there you go.
I was gonna say if we're putting that mark at 4 quarterbacks being drafted, then Shuck's going there if Sanders falls. So yeah, I'm gonna put Sanders in the first round. I don't think he gets past. I mean, the Rams are there at 27. At least, they're going to at least pick him up. Matthew Stafford's not going to be there forever. So, like, if he falls that far, somebody's going to scoop him up. Somebody will trade back into the first, I feel like, just to get that 5th-year option on him.
What I want to see, though, besides I want to see people stop saying that people hate on Shedeur because they're racist, not because he's not good. I don't care. I don't care that he's Deion's son. I don't care that he went to Colorado. I don't care about the color of his skin. I don't think he's a good quarterback at football yet. Not to say he won't be, but he's very limited, and that's why I don't like him. It has nothing to do with any other reason but that. And also his offensive coordinator was garbage. So what would be wild to me, and the thing that I'm hoping for, most of all, I would even take drafting a complete bust with the 106 for the Raiders. If Shedeur Sanders falls out of the first round and somebody in the first round, like the Rams, drafts Kyle McCord, I will laugh. You'll hear my laughter all the way from Wisconsin.
Yeah, the discourse, if that happens, oh my God, I won't be able to go to bed after the NFL draft because that's all we'd be talking about.
But I think that any GM that watched my episode last week, they're going to do it.
Any? You mean all? Come on. We saw him in the chat.
Yeah. All right. What team selects Ashton Genty? I'm going. Jamie says Sanders will be a good career backup. Yeah, he'll be a great rookie backup too. Along the lines of Spencer Rattler. That's my comp. Shedeur Sanders, my comp is Spencer Rattler.
That's an attack right there. That's something. You watched Rattler last year, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But if you think about it, they're very similar. The other thing with Shedeur, and I don't want to talk about Sanders anymore. Let's move on. What team selects Ashton Genty? I'm going to say the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm going to go to the Broncos.
Okay.
I'm going to go to the Broncos. And the same spot that you did.
Teaser. Wait for my take. All right. What team is the first to see their pick clock hit 0 before the pick is announced? And Schletzy says, Duval. Did I do that better than your coach?
Oh, yeah.
Duval. What team is the first to see their pick clock hit 0 before the pick is announced? Doesn't that happen?
It's happened twice in the last 20 years. I know the Ravens had it happen once, and I want to say the Vikings were the other team.
So as what I can remember is the broadcast clocks hit 0, and then Goodell comes out. Like the pick has been made already. The team's clock didn't hit 0, so I don't know if it's the broadcast clock. I think it should be the Titans. It'll be the first pick. I think they're going to take all the time just to make everybody wait, even though they already know what they're doing.
If that's not the most infuriating fucking thing in the world, you have. Titans knew it back in September. They were probably getting that first overall fucking pick, and you're going to spend 10 freaking. All we want is the draft to happen, but the draft says it starts at 8. Bull fucking shit! It starts at 8:15 because we don't get that pick until then. We know who you're taking. Nobody's trading. It's the year the Cardinals took Kyler Murray and just milked that whole thing out.
You could even sign him to a contract in fucking January.
Yeah, the contract might expire before you make the damn pick.
Right. You could have him sign his name on a contract and then just not submit it to the league until the first legal day to do it, but still know exactly why make people wait an extra 15 minutes. Fuck you, Titans.
That's just going to make Biggs that much more drunk as he's sitting there waiting for you to think. He's going to have that 10 extra minutes pounding a few beers before that first pick's ever made.
Look, this is a professional trip.
Right. I feel you.
I'm only bringing 3 bottles of scotch to share with Chase.
Yeah, I didn't bring a bottle of Stella into the combine. No, I didn't bring a half a 6-pack, just to keep things interesting. Absolutely not. Professional folks.
All I know is that after the draft on Thursday night, Chase and I are going to get fucked up. All right. Brian getting unhinged. Hell yeah. Are you okay? Will there be more offensive or defensive players drafted in round one? I'm going to say offense, simply because you have the quarterback position, the running back position, the wide receiver position, the 2 tight ends that we talked about, maybe a third if we're wrong about the over under, and then you have the offensive linemen. I'm going to say more offensive players.
It's hard too, just because a lot of what you hear just talking about the NFL draft, not in the fantasy context, but this league or this draft is pretty deep in the defensive line as far as the edges and especially the defensive tackle. So that that same situation, do these teams wait because they know they can still get quality guys in the second and third round, or do they take the couple of studs there in the first? We're a fantasy football podcast here, folks. Not all of us are crazy like this guy and play IDP, so we're rooting for offense here. Give me some offense.
All right. If we want to talk about unhinged takes, we just got one in the chat. Let's fucking go. Who will have a better career, Cam Ward or Sam Bradford? Chev, feel free to chime in. All right. Obviously, Cam Ward. Who will be the first wide receiver drafted in round one? None is an option. I think it's Tet. I think it's Tet to New England, and that seems to be chalk at this point.
Assuming Hunter doesn't get to qualify as the wide receiver. Yeah, give me Tet. Give me Tet.
Last position group selected. I'm going to say in round one. So we're talking about Philadelphia either staying put or trading out. I keep hearing about all the draft picks that they have, plus they already have like a Super Bowl champion team, but they might want to move up in the draft with all of their extra picks, which would be fascinating and the total Howie Roseman thing to do. I love Howie Roseman so much because everything he does, I think in my head, I would have done that. And so
if only you wouldn't have missed the interview.
Right. So when Josh McDaniels was hired, I actually tried to email Mark Davis and say, "Hey, I'm available for the position," and he never responded. I'm going to say that the last pick is going to be a D lineman. Last pick in the first round.
Yeah, if it's the Eagles, I was going to say the same thing. It's probably going to be an edge for me. If they trade out, then it might be one of those quarterbacks or a wide receiver that a team's trading up into that first round just to get that 5th-year option on.
Who remind me who has the first pick in the second? Is that still Tennessee?
Yeah, it's still Tennessee.
Okay. All right. Which position will see the longest sustained run of consecutive picks? I'm going to say defensive back because that tends to be what happens is that somebody takes a cornerback, then another cornerback goes and maybe a safety. So I'm going to say cornerback, or I'm going to say defensive backs.
I'm going to go running back. I think as soon as that first trigger is pulled there in that late second, early third round, I think there's a good chance we could see several teams just pop, 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 because the culmination of the strength of this running back class and what we saw take place in the league with running backs. All of a sudden, these veterans are good because we didn't get influx last year. These running back rooms, I'm worried that 75% of them are going to be drastically different than we ever would have even imagined come August. So
sure,
give me the running backs.
So I'm looking at. I said that I think Jacksonville is going to take Genty. In my home league, I have Tank, or not Tank. In my home league, I have Tank Bigsby and Travis Etienne. And every year I get torpedoed in that league. I had Algier as a rookie, and then my buddy Art and I were we were watching the draft at the bar, and they took Bijan, and I lost my mind. All right, let me see this. What is that one? Okay. This is a question from last week. Curdy asked, "Where are you at on Chris Olave?" Oh wait, this is not the right.
Damn it, Curdy.
No, it's a mailbag. Okay. So where are you at on Chris Olave and Dynasty? Trying to buy cheap, hold, not come close with a 39.5-foot pole. I am all in on Chris Olave.
Oh man, does he not just scream one of those players? Kind of like the way we approached Tua just so recently, like one concussion away. If Derek Carr leaves, I think I'm a lot more inclined to go get Olave. But for me, it's all going to be just about the price. Does that owner did they draft him and are they hurting and still wanting to get value? Or is this owner, they've already picked him up once, like, well, I bought him kind of cheap. I'm willing to sell him for whatever price. So I'm not paying a lot. I'm with Curdy here. I want to get him cheap.
Yeah,
I'm down to hold him.
What I'm saying. I'm going after him for cheap. There are a couple things that work. Number one, yes, you are correct. The coaching staff is not beholden to Chris Olave at all. They weren't the drafters. They're a brand new staff, new offensive coordinator. Like there's nobody beholden to Chris Olave. When you say if Derek Carr leaves, his stock goes up, we forget how many career years Derek Carr has provided for wide receivers that had no business doing that, like Zay Jones, Michael Crabtree, Mac Hollins. Like he has created.
Who's the white guy they had just a few years ago? Clemson kid.
Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, he had a top season. He got paid because of that season.
He had a wide receiver 1 season. He was not wide receiver 11 from the slot. It was beautiful. So yeah, I have faith that Derek Carr will be able to, if he plays 17 games, if Olave plays 17 games, he's going to be fine. If they draft not Shador, I think Olave is going to be fine. Olave's talent is going to, for me, his talent outweighs the concussion scare. So yeah. All right, now we go.
Rookie. It's all about rookie talk in fantasy football right now. So why not go use all that knowledge to do something other than a mock draft? Chris Jimino won $8,000 with just 2 teams last year, and each draft took 5 minutes. That's pretty good ROI. You can start doing rookie drafts for money today on Fast Draft. The Origins tournament is live. It is the place to go and monetize your knowledge of rookies and use your favorite player profiler host promo code for a $25 deposit match. Now let's go start drafting faster.
No, I love the way he ends those.
Yeah, and the IDP one, he cusses, which is great, but he bleeps it out. But he's wrong. You get a $50 deposit match if you use the code BOOTH, which is my last name, Booth. All right.
Bigz
Our
Booth.
Dreamer says Hunter Renfrow is the truth, whether he's catching footballs or selling insurance or whatever he's doing now. True. The juice is worth the squeeze with Olave. Yeah, I think you want to say the oil is worth the squeeze with Olave. I seen a video of Podfather all beat up. Is he okay? I don't know. I haven't seen a video of him beaten up. It is funny though that he booked an Airbnb for the draft and it's the Player Profiler Draft House, and he booked it in Tampa.
Oh shit!
So for the last 3 months, I've been like talking to people and like, are you going to be in Green Bay? And no, I'm going to be in Tampa. And I'm like, what's in Tampa? And then I wouldn't get a response. And then I found out it's because they went to Tampa. So that's hilarious. All right, back to predictions. Okay. From Raider Damas, my partner in crime on Uncovered, go over to Uncovered and subscribe over there. It's all team-driven content, separate creators for each team. And Tyler is my co-host on the Raiders show. Shador is falling out of the first round. That's his prediction. Maxwell Hairston is not. 6 running backs go in round 2 after 3 in round 1. And this will go down as one of the worst draft classes of all time. That's crazy.
Yeah, did you not see last year's draft? The running back
I don't necessarily disagree with him, but the odds of it happening are very, very slim. All right, I've been no, I said to delete that one. I said earlier that I had a take that you're going to want to stay tuned for, and there was a question that went out on Twitter about Denver trading up. And that's a long commute to Lambeau. Okay.
From Tampa.
Oh yeah. If I thought the drive to Duluth was far, FF counselor beat the crap out of him for talking smack. Okay. All right. So somebody mentioned Denver trading up so that they could get Genty, and I was like, yes, they're going to do that, and then the team in front of them is going to draft Genty.
The Patriots.
Whoever they do, I don't think they're going to trade with Jacksonville. I think they're going to. The idea was the trade up to like 8 or something like that.
Okay.
But that's another thing. On top of wanting to see Shador fall out of the first and McCord get first round capital, I also want to see the Broncos try and make a trade to get Genty and then get sniped.
And that's why I think that rumor about them trading up to 5 is just because Genty's been mocked to 6 of the Raiders so much that, jumping the divisional rival, making sure they get that cornerstone running back to use them all over, Las Vegas.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to check this. We got that one. All right. And then I have a graphic slide. Let's look at that.
Oh, let's look at that.
All right. So this is tight end, avoided tackles, and 10-yard splits.
It's crazy. There's lots of names on here, but I can only see one. I see Harold Fan, and I don't see any other names.
Right?
No, not yeah.
So if we look up in the right quadrant, we see that Sam Laporta, Brock Bowers, David Njoku, and Harold Fannin are in a class by themselves. However, Evans and CJ Dupree?
You just erase those. You just wipe those right off my screen.
They're bringing it. Nebraska's Fedone. I love Simon from South Carolina. I loved watching him at the Senior Bowl, or not at the Combine. But now we look all the way down. The worst, McBride. Really?
Yeah, I don't. Interesting, actually.
The whole point of this is that this chart means absolutely fucking nothing. Because Evan Ingram, Cole Kmet, Dawson Knox, Oronde Gadsden, Hunter Henry, Mason Taylor, Tyler Conklin, they're all in kind of the same area. You have kind of unknown names later on. You have Jake Briningstool kind of like pulling up the middle. Nobody, like, look at Luke Lachey's avoided tackles. His wiggle is pretty damn good, but he's not even like ranked in the top 7 tight ends right now. And he's got that Iowa tight end farm pedigree, right? So you look at that little area that's Kmet, Ingram, and Dawson Knox, and Hunter Henry, and Trey McBride, and like that's not great as far as the avoided tackles. It's pretty good as far as athleticism, but you obviously want to be more athletic. That's more important than the avoided tackles. But other than that, this is pretty. But look how far down Gunnar Helm is.
I was just looking at Isaiah Likely right there, hanging out with him as well.
And I think that Gunnar Helm thing is because of his injury. But Likely is that's not great. It's not great, Bob.
Not good.
All right, and then I got another one. Check this out. All right, I got to get that overlay off.
Get that unhinged shit out of here.
See it. All right, wide receivers with a minimum of 100 routes, 2021 to 2024. This is courtesy of Ryan Heath at Fantasy Points, and it's fantastic. So when you are going into this is my least unhinged take. When you are going into your wide receiver evaluations, maybe it's a startup draft, maybe it's a redraft league or whatever. If we look at the stickiness, target share, first read target share, fantasy points per game, those are the stickiest traits that carry over year. The most predictive of the next season's fantasy points per game is first downs, total number of first downs. All of those things kind of work together. Targets per game, first read target share, total target share, all of that is kind of that's all in line. So if you look at the wide receiver 1 on a team, that's who you're going after. But then if you have a wide receiver 2 on a team and he has better numbers in first read target share, etc., than a wide receiver 1 on another team, you let that other wide receiver 1 go and you grab a wide receiver 2 or a wide receiver 3 based on these, not necessarily the guy's position in his own wide receiver room, because you can be more productive as a 2 or a 3 than a wide receiver 1 if you're in the right situation. So situationally, that's what we want. We want to take the name away from people, assign them a number, a random, like a prisoner number, and look at their data. And what does that tell us that we want? So grab that guy, and then all of a sudden you look, and his name is Joshua Palmer, and you're like, what happened? Well, he was getting opportunity. Opportunity is king. And I think that's my point here. What are some things that are not sticky and are not predictive? ADOT. Drops.
Really? Quentin Johnston sitting there like holding on to that one. Like, no, it's not a bad stat. Come on.
It does follow though. What do drops mean? They don't mean a whole lot. They don't mean that you're not good, because if you're getting the targets, you could drop 5 or 6 balls. You could lead the league in drops. And if you're getting the target share, it's not going to matter how much you drop the ball. Now, if you are trying to decide between the 2 worst wide receivers in the league and one of them has more drops than the other, but their target share is pretty equal, this even says don't look at that. Go with the guy with the higher drop rate. It's a negative correlation.
Not too shabby.
And it's not sticky. It doesn't. If a guy has a season with a lot of drops, that doesn't carry over to the next year. It's not a sticky stat. Contested catch rate is another one. You look at a guy like George Pickens. If he's got a high ADOT and a high contested catch rate, it doesn't matter. That blows my mind. These are things that have been conventionally things that we talk about in the fantasy space, in the analyst space, and they don't fucking matter.
I think that's the hard part of, like, as fantasy football has evolved, like, over the last 5-8 years, the amount of websites that we have that have all these metrics as, fantasy points. They develop their own metric with the first down, or the first down targets. No, whatever, their ass score, whatever the hell that is. We have just so many different metrics that I could take just about any player and I can find that he leads the league or is top 5 in just about any metric. Not every metric, but you're always going to find some way to describe this narrative. And I think that's the hard thing. Stuff like this helps you kind of decipher from, the loud noise of some metrics of the analytical driven guys versus, this is what's actually sticky.
Brian, that's exactly what the theme of the show is. That's what I do. I find a number that makes me think Jackson Dart is the QB1, and then I back it up with data, and then it doesn't come true. That's my whole brand.
Oh shit! Look at this. We got the. It's like we just came to Oz. We just pulled back the curtain. There's the wizard. It's nothing fancy back there, folks.
You said the name of the movie in the movie. All right. And my bald ass picture, that kind of looks like the Wizard of Oz too. That's funny. I sent Dev a whole litany of photos to use for me, and so including cartoons, like candid shots wearing a hat, and he used my bald one. So thanks for that, Dev. All right. That's going to do it for this show. Oh no, we got a comment. I am from the future and already know Dart is QB1 in this class. It worked.
Yes. Now, if we just go back to the future, we'll get it all figured out, right?
Okay. I designed a time machine and I set it to come back to 3:48 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I just did that.
So, okay. So why do your Dynasty team suck then if you got this time machine? Come on.
Well, I was just testing it out.
Gotcha.
That's
Dip
when
the
I said
toe
it worked. It's because I made it there. All right. Our Dreamer, does it look to you like the sticky stats are more quarterback dependent and the non-sticky are more wide receiver dependent? That's a great fucking question. Let's dive in. Bring that back up. All right. Drop rate, wide receiver driven. ADOT, that's system driven. Design target rate, system driven. Contested catch rate, that's wide receiver driven. Missed tackles forced, receiver driven. Yards per route run is system driven. Yak per route run is wide receiver. Catchable target rate, that's quarterback driven, 100%. But I've been using that. I've been using catchable target rate so hard, and it's not sticky and it's not predictive. So I think I'm going to back off on that. One of my hotter takes was that Trey Tucker was going to have a huge year 3 breakout, and the reason is because his catchable target rate is going to be much better with Geno Smith than it was with Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. Last year, I said George Pickens was going to have a much better catchable target rate with Russell Wilson than he did with Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett. I mean, he did have a better year. I don't think he had a better finish. But yeah, that's crazy. Okay. Passer rating when targeted, that's definitely a combined stat. Let's look at the top. First downs, system driven, fantasy points per game. That's got to be a combination of all of them.
That's a culmination, yeah.
Fantasy points, receiving yards per game, receptions, catchable targets. Well, catchable target. Okay, well, I'm back in catchable targets. It's predictive and sticky. So that's definitely quarterback driven. And first read targets, that's definitely system driven. And targets that's kind of a mixed bag. So does it look like the sticky stats are more quarterback dependent and the non-sticky stats are more wide receiver dependent? Yeah, I think, no. I think a lot of the system has to do with the unsticky stats and the talent level of both the wide receiver and quarterback. So you're going to want, you're not going to want a shitty ass quarterback with a guy who gets a lot of first read target share. You want him to have catchable targets and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so much of this is unfortunate because, we look at these metrics, but it doesn't tell you when a wide receiver starting quarterback went down in week 4. So, those metrics are going to be skewed there for the rest of the season. Or maybe he was hampered with look at T Higgins metrics. The amount of games he's gone in for 5 snaps and pulled out, it's going to kill his fantasy points per game, his overall career stuff. So that's the intangibles, the thing you have to pull out of all the just all these metrics. It's so hard it's the reason we can't fall on metrics solely as fantasy football players, because the variables just outweigh how much we have of these sticky stats.
Right. But I do like what this chart or this report from Ryan Heath, what I like about it is that it does color in some of the stuff. So if you go to Sleeper and you go to wide receiver leaders 2024 and you get a list of who's scoring the most fantasy points, this kind of gives you a little bit of coloring into that. He's pretty good at pulling out, unlike Tyreek. Boom!
J-Mac throwing the shade.
Yeah, and J-Mac, when he said that, I was gonna lean into the camera and say, "Message for T. Higgins: never pull out." Jamie is theoretical physics. I guess that's what we're doing here. Is theoretical physics?
I mean, it sounds like it. We're smart enough to. I mean, come on.
All right, let's get to our last segment, which is going to be redoing predictions that might not happen. All right, my first prediction that probably won't happen is the Titans draft Travis Hunter.
Would I not love that? Oh, could I be in the room if that happens? I want to be right next to Chev. I want a camera on him. I want to see the exact reaction coming from him.
I want to be nowhere near the state that Chev is situated in at that point.
Hey, as a Colts fan, I want the Titans to go with Ward. I don't want them to get Travis Hunter at all.
We know that there was a large meteor that hit the earth somewhere around the Wyoming area and completely devastated the earth, killing a whole bunch of dinosaurs. That is the impact that it is going to be around Chev. The nuclear ripples. I don't want to be near that. I think he'd be happy.
I got one for you.
Yeah.
The Dolphins and the Green Bay Packers are going to be making a trade. They're swapping Tyreek Hill for Jair Alexander.
Okay, that makes sense because of Jalen Ramsey as a trade target and stuff. Last week, one of my predictions that probably won't happen is the draft day trade of Tyreek to Pittsburgh and Pickens to Miami.
Okay, I like that one quite a bit. I like that. What if we get on the Mark Andrews train and he gets traded? He goes from one Harbaugh to another. Let's see the Ravens trade Mark Andrews on the last year of his contract, so it's likely, so they got to sign one of them. Let's see him trade, go all the way to L.A., and then they don't have to take a tight end. They can take a wide receiver. And Herbert can be a top 8 quarterback this season. 6. Get that. Fix your face. Fix your face.
6.
If he's got all those targets, hell yeah, he's throwing for 40 touchdowns.
Greg Roman has a bone to pick with you.
I'll give him a bone, all right.
All right, and let's do another one. I predict that. Let's just fucking say it. I predict Kyle McCord is going to go in the first round.
Any? I mean, I know you mentioned the Rams. Is there any other teams you like, really intrigued by to see him go to?
Teams in the back half.
I mean, not Washington. What about Detroit? Do you think they're going to be in a quarterback or market at any time soon, or are they just that loyal to Jared Goff? They took Hooker just a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think they're kind of looking at Hendon Hooker as their own Jordan Love.
He's older than Goff, isn't he?
I don't know.
I think he got drafted at like 25.
All I know is that Jared Goff is from NorCal. Second best football player born in Novato, California.
Behind
me. If any team trades up for Genty, it will be Dallas, not Denver. No. My. Go ahead.
I saw Jerry came out today talking this big game. Oh yeah, I got a couple trades working. We've been talking about them. We're going to make a big splash. Bitch, do not get your fucking fans excited. You said that last year and we waited 8 months before anything happened. And who'd you trade for? You traded for freaking Jonathan Mingo and you got Trey Lance. You've wasted 4th round picks back-to-back years, dude. Jerry, give it up. Get your ass in that sweet ass billionaire's retirement home and, start drilling on yourself. It's time to move on. Sorry, folks. They call me arthritis. I'm a little hard on the seniors.
Okay, so somebody said Jaguars and Broncos have had discussions about a possible trade. I said I hope it's real too, and then New England drafts Genty. Where did it go? So my favorite tweet of the last couple of days, somebody said something that Jerry Jones on the Dallas Cowboys. We're one of the best drafting teams in the NFL. I'll say that. We are. And I said, yeah, Jerry, top 32. All right, you got another one?
I'm trying to, not as spicy. I'm going to say Arizona ruins the fantasy career of Matthew Golden by taking him in the first round and absolutely just kills any consistent work from those receivers because, Trey McBride's the guy. They just paid him to be. You got the running backs back there, and then you've got a mobile quarterback that just chops down the available targets to go to him. So, yeah, let's see Golden go there to Arizona just to piss off everybody and throw off Superflex drafts.
And you have a quarterback that can't see past his offensive line and get the ball down the field, so he has to get it to McBride.
I heard they actually got insoles for his shoes, added another half an inch.
He's wearing those "I'm gonna get you sucker goldfish" platforms.
It's funny. I heard a rumor that he was the reason they had to put a stool in the bathroom in the facility because he could reach the sink.
There's always a stool in my bathroom. All right, I think Biggs found the perfect unhinged co-host. This is awesome. I'm sure Brian appreciates that, Curdy. Thank you. Yeah. Let me see if I can come up with another one. Yeah, Shador to the Giants. That's my only that's one that I've been thinking of, but I would be really surprised if it happens. I think that Dart is going to go number 3 to the Giants, but what would be awesome, what would be so great, is if Tennessee goes Travis Hunter, and then Cleveland goes Shador, because they're Cleveland, and then the Giants go Dart, and then all of a sudden New England is sitting there looking at Abdul Carter. like what would happen if Abdul Carter falls out of the 2nd or 3rd pick? That, like, in years that he should go as the 101.
Yeah, the Patriots' phone would be ringing off the hook. In most situations, I think trading down would be great, but I think he has a potential to be a cornerstone piece for a team. It's Mike Vrabel in town. They're going to be leaning on that defense. Josh McDaniels can go, never mind. This is going to turn into a hate segment on Josh McDaniels, so let me pull back from there a little bit. But yeah, let's see Abdul Carter go there a little bit.
Lean into it. Let's go.
Oh, God.
All right, here's my final completely unhinged prediction that probably won't happen. Abdul Carter falls to number 4. The Eagles use all of their extra draft picks to trade up to drafting Abdul Carter. They trade with the Patriots, and they give the Patriots A.J. Brown.
Okay. Oh, all right. So you had me frustrated there at the beginning because that's the last thing we fucking want to happen. We saw the Myles Garrett rumors that he possibly going to go to the Eagles. I think everybody collectively, 31 teams, would absolutely hate the Patriots like we did for almost 20 years if they do that, because they are officially just locking in the Eagle to the next 2 Super Bowls. There is no fucking way they should allow that to happen. I don't care what war chest they give you. The picks aren't going to be worth dick because they're going to be drafting at 32. Patriots, you fucked me for too long. As a Colts fan, you ruined my childhood. You fucking ruined it, but it's okay. It's okay. Don't do it.
Elliot Wolf, hear me, Elliot Wolf. Go call Howie right now. Call him right now and say, if Abdul falls to me, I will take AJ Brown and some picks and do that. That would be great.
Oh man, the Eagles.
Here's one. Steelers pass on quarterback and Mason Rudolph starts in Pittsburgh.
J-Mac, that's mean. Don't do that to us.
Wow. That's pretty crazy.
Kirk Cousins they'd have to kick the tires on Kirk Cousins at that point. Like, you can't go into your season with just, because they've got Skylar Thompson, I think, is their backup right now.
Hey, I had Skylar Thompson in my 32 team league because I had Tua and I didn't have a backup when he went out. So I traded my 1st round draft pick for what was it? It was Skylar and Dalton.
And then you realize, I still don't have a quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Unhinged. Next week, I will be Let's try it again. Thank you for watching Unhinged. I have been Bigz. He is always too much Brian. And I will be back next week with you for more Unhinged bullshit, but with draft landing spots. Make sure that you like and subscribe, hit the bell, all that stuff, so you know when I'm on here telling you my crazy takes. And go to fastdraft.app so you can draft faster. Use promo code BOOTH, BOOTH, get a $50 deposit match. And Rollin' Smoke in the 907. Go get yourself some smoked pickles and smoked cheese. If you don't like pickles, you can buy smoked cheese. And also his beef sticks are good. I want to say, but I don't have Facebook because fuck Meta. I am a family member of somebody in the trans community, and the bullshit that Meta pulled, I nuked my Instagram account and my Facebook account, and I will not support them ever. So I can't do the research on this, but because he's only on Facebook, he doesn't have like a normal website. But I do want to say that he makes moose and elk and venison like sticks, like Slim Jims.
Dude selling all the phallic shaped foods.
Yeah. So
pickles, meat sticks, popsicles, all the best foods are shaped like
everything.
penises.
Everything is a popsicle with the right attitude. And also, well, first of all, good shit, guys. Thanks.
I'll be doing that after the show.
Thanks to you, J-Mac. And also, I'll leave you with this. Did you know that people without beards are just people with beards without beards?
Math checks out.